Are you guys ready for day 146? Let's go!
What's up, guys? I am Michael McIntyre, and this is Leo the Hiking Dog. For the last year, we have been planning and preparing for this thru hike of the Appalachian Trail. Thank you for joining our adventure. If you are enjoying the journey, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We would be super thankful.
Good morning, day 146. We are here at Shaw's, about to leave for the trailhead. Unfortunately, my box still did not show up. So I did a resupply here for 2 days. They're gonna bring me 3 days worth of food here in 2 days, and then that'll get me all the way to Katahdin. So that's the plan for this morning. Just waiting to hop in the car and head to the trailhead now, and then we will be back on trail. All right, guys, we are back on trail. Shaw's just dropped us off at the trailhead. It is the latest start that we have ever done. So we are on trail at 11 o'clock, which is horrible, but that's okay. At least we're back on trail. All right, so new shoes, new backpack, 2 days worth of food. Everything is organized, ready to go. One of you guys asked me, one of the viewers asked me about the logistics of Baxter State Park and how that works. So I found out the information, because you actually have to get, if somebody's coming to pick you up, which my wife is coming to pick me up, you have to get a day use pass, and there's only so many of those available, so you have to do that ahead of time. So we went ahead and bought our day use pass for Sunday, and they were available, and I got mine. So so that way she can pick me up and drop me off on Sunday to do the summit. Now, as far as picking me up Saturday, Poet at Shaw's said I don't need a pass for that. So that you can, she can just let them know she's picking up a hiker, and they'll let her in to pick me up. So that's where we're at with that. As far as the summit goes, I need to hike all the way to the ranger station, or you can check in at the 8-Ball Bridge, and but I want to hike all the way to the ranger station to get all of those miles done and out of the way. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan as of now. All right, so here we go. We got the 100-mile wilderness sign right here. There it is. We are entering the 100-mile wilderness right now. Alright, guys, we are about 5 miles into the day now. We stopped and had lunch at the first shelter, because it was already 12 o'clock. So 2 things that I forgot. First was my spork, my titanium spoon. I think I left it in the Granite Gear backpack, and so I basically had to eat my tuna with my hands, digging it out of the bag. So I think I'm gonna get like a stick here later, and I'm gonna try to fashion myself a little bit of a fork to get me through this section. I remembered that I didn't have it earlier today, but I was supposed to grab one, when I was at the general store, just like a regular plastic fork, just to get me through the section. And gosh, hold on one second. Leo, back. And decisions on where to put my feet. I'll tell you about that in a second. So I was going to get one from the general store, and I forgot about it when I went to go get a bagel. So I'm carrying 2 days worth of food with me because my food bag or my food box did not come in. If my food box comes in tomorrow, they'll bring it to me. I'll get the other 3 days worth of food that I need from it, and then we'll be good to go. If it does not come in tomorrow, they're going to put together 3 days worth of food for me and bring it to me. And so I'll still be good to go to Katahdin. I'll just have a whole box of food wasted by the post office because they didn't get it here in time. And so I'll have to deal with them on that whole deal. But I was talking about two things. The second thing, I got that. I got some bug stuff, and I got Picardin lotion, right? And then I got some oil sprays that got like citronella oil and peppermint oil and stuff like that. And I'm telling you what, it is a world of difference. I'm not out here swatting at bugs. I'm not out here worried about them biting me. I was always worried about carrying the weight of that stuff. Now, I won't use a product like DEET because DEET is literally like poison and will melt your stuff. So you got to be really careful with using DEET. DEET's strong, DEET works, except for DEET's a very strong chemical and a lot of other things. I've seen it melt plastic. So you definitely want to be careful in using products that have DEET in them. But the Sawyer Picardin lotion seems to be working. And I can't remember the name of the other spray that I bought, but I sprayed it on my hat and then on my shirt, basically just to keep them, the flies from landing on me. And they have been fantastic. I haven't had to swat at hardly anything at all. So that's been good. We're going nice and slow today. 2 reasons. I'm breaking in new gear. So brand new backpack, brand new pair of shoes. Let me tell you about these shoes. All right. As of right now, I'm not loving them. I'm afraid every time I put my foot on any kind of smooth rock, I'm going to slip or slide. And these things have their full traction right now because they're brand new. And I've almost had my foot come out from underneath me several times, as to where I feel like if I was wearing a Topo Pursuit 2, that would not be a problem. I feel like they had super grip until you wore them out when they were brand new. So I am having to be very careful about foot placement out here because I am way too close to the end to fall and hurt myself. So that is also slowing us down tremendously. All right, so I broke up the 100-mile wilderness in different sections. So the first 2 sections is just to get my food cache tomorrow, the food drop. So I'm going to do 15 miles today because I didn't get started till almost 11 o'clock or after 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then we're going to do another 15 miles to get the food drop tomorrow. But then we're going to add 6 more miles after the food drop. So it's going to be 21 miles tomorrow. All right, so that's going to put us at, let's see, do math real quick, 30, 15 and 21, it's going to be 36 miles, right? So here's the deal. They call it the 100-mile wilderness, but from the beginning of the 100-mile wilderness to Mount Katahdin is actually 118 miles. So you do have to take into account for that. So you do need to take into account for that. And there is a resupply at the A-Ball Bridge, which will give you that last little bit of stuff that you need for the last day. So those are the things that that you basically have to plan out for when going through the 100-mile wilderness. if you're going to do a full carry, it just depends upon your ability to put down miles in the 100-mile wilderness. You can do big miles once you get over Whitecap Mountain. And that's what I'm planning on, is doing, a couple bigger mile days where I cover like 27 one day and 25 another day. That's gonna make up for the lack of miles that we did, basically today. So we'll see how that goes. I talked to Tyler, who is already summited, and he did like a 40-mile day in the 100-mile wilderness. So somebody says it gets super flat, and they call it like the red carpet to Katahdin, because it's going to be a super easy, nice little hike all the way into Baxter once we get over Whitecap Mountain. So I'm counting on that, and if it's like that, I can move as long as these rocks ain't slick. I can hike my pace in these shoes. So that is the plan, to knock the rest of this out. Today, for me guys, is Tuesday, right? I plan on summiting on Sunday, weather permitting, everything permitting. Sunday is the day. So Tuesday through Saturday is to knock out the rest of these miles, and then Sunday will be summit day for me and Leo. All right, so that's the plan. We're going to keep on pushing these miles today and get these 15 miles knocked out. There's our first real type of view there in the 100-mile wilderness, about 8 or 9 miles in. You see that's basically like a view of the swamp down there. There's a bog and everything that we just came through, and yeah, so this is the first time that we've been up high enough to kind of have an overview like this. We've been basically just walking through the trees and the swamp. Oh, let me show you my brand new white shoes, what they look like now. Yeah, so those were white and clean this morning. That's what they look like now. Alright guys, we are coming up on our first ford of the 100-mile wilderness. It's this river I'm walking right next to. At some point it's going to have us cross over it. So we're going to have to see what level of water it is, how fast it's moving at the crossover point, and then make our decision on how we get me and Leo over safely. Obviously safety first, especially when it comes to these river crossings. I'm getting wet, not a big deal. I'm already wet from sweat, but yeah, we just want to make sure that we get over safely. And these new shoes could be a little bit of a, because I'm not feeling real confident in their grip right now. So we'll have to see. I'll try to make the best choice I can for the moving of the water. Sounds like it's starting to move faster up here, so I don't know. We'll see where we actually are supposed to cross at. It's coming up. All right, here's our turning point to where we got to cross the river. So now I need to find the safest spot. Some pretty fast moving water. I definitely don't want to be standing on top of the boulder rocks over there where the water's moving over them, because that'll be super slick. So probably just take the path right here. It might get a little deep there in the middle, but if we take this path right here, it looks like maybe we can walk this direction and then go over towards the blaze. The blaze is over there, so. All right, first things first, I got to take off Leo's pack, load it up on top of my pack, and then unbuckle all my stuff in case there's any slippage or anything like that. This isn't a super deep river, so I'm not worried about getting swept away. If I did fall, I'd be able to stand back up. I also take my fanny pack and put it up around my neck, so that way it's higher, because it's got all my electronics, my phone and the camera and all that stuff in it. So, all right, here we go. All right, guys, I underestimated that one a little bit. So I loaded everything up, started walking across, and you see with that dead fly, you see that boulder, like right there. So that boulder, the current is moving a lot faster than it looks right there. So it's the first time that the water actually made me like fall back and sit down. I mean, I was able to immediately stand back up. Probably the bottom of my pack got wet. The fanny pack, the bottom of it hit the water, but it's waterproof. So everything's all good. Got Leo across safely, but the current was pretty strong in this one. A lot more deceptive than the last ones that we've done. And like I said, it's the first one that actually knocked me down when I came across it. So there's going to be more fords to come here in the 100-mile wilderness. Hopefully they get easier. All right, we got to keep on pushing these miles, getting closer to camp. All right, we got about 4 miles left in the day, but I just ran into some southbounders, and they said there's going to be 3 more river crossings here before we get to the next shelter, which is where we're stopping at, the Long Pond shelter. So apparently we got a little bit more work to do in these last 4 miles. I thought it was going to be moving quick, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Show you guys the river crossings when we get to them. But it's getting later in the afternoon. We're not going to get to the shelter probably till 7:30, but that's because of such a late start, and I mean, I'm still happy we're getting in 15 miles and starting at 11 o'clock. Yeah, that's pretty decent, I think, for starting so late. So, yep. All right, we're going to keep on pushing these miles and get to the shelter here soon. All right, here we are at the next water crossing. That's some pretty fast moving water right there. There's the blaze across the river. I really don't want to step into that. and I definitely don't want Leo stepping into that. So we need to find a slower moving part. We might be able to rock hop it over here, but my shoes are slick, so I'm not a big fan of these shoes and how they're gonna walk in this here. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pick a path here. I think I might take Leo across and then come back. He's got some pretty fast moving water. All right, I chose to go across right here because the fast moving part is it's only thigh high, and it's very short. So I just have to keep my stability right through that part right there, and then I'm in the clear as soon as I get to the other side. I carried Leo over, so now I'm coming back to get my gear, and then I'm gonna walk over now and hopefully not get anything wet. All right, we made it across there safely. Now it's time to push on. I don't know how many more of these we got, but we're getting close to the shelter, so it shouldn't be too many. So I gauge each river crossing like that, which just looked at the map. We got about a mile to the shelter, and it looks like we still got 2 more to do. I don't know how big they are, but I gauge each river crossing differently on whether I let Leo try to walk and paddle, or if I wind up carrying him. The reason why I carried him on that one was because that water was, although it was a very, very short crossing, that water was so fast moving, his body weight's just not enough to keep him grounded, and it was so fast moving that it could have swept him, and the waterfall's right there, so it's just not worth the risk. You know, it's just easier for me to you know, that I've got really strong legs, you know, so I can plant my feet in there and it's not going to move me. And it was such a short little, you know, jaunt across. It was easier for me to just pick him up and carry him across and then come back and get my stuff. And so that was the easiest way to do that one. So you have to gauge each one differently, and don't approach any of them with, you know, undue caution. Like the one that I wound up falling in, I was like, oh, this one's going to be easy, and it just pushed me over. And I wasn't in any type of danger, but you know, like I slightly underestimated it, and it knocked me down. So not a big deal, but slick rocks. All right, so we'll look at these other two as we get closer to them, and then gauge how to attack them, and then we'll be at the shelter for the night. It's already past 7 o'clock now, so like I said, we got started so late. Not hiking until 11. Getting 15 miles in today, you know, before dark is still going to be a little bit of an accomplishment. So I'm going to be happy with the 15 miles. I'm happy to just jump in a shelter and not have to set up tents and all that kind of stuff. We're definitely going to be tent camping. There's a couple of spots, I think, where you can camp where you have like a view of Katahdin. So I definitely want to see if we can't camp at one of those with the tent before we're all done. But yeah, all right, we're going to push on to the shelter, show you what these other 2 river crossings look like, and yeah, we'll be there shortly. All right, this one's an interesting one because it is moving pretty fast, and it's got a rope here, but I don't know if I can get Leo across that very easily, even hanging on to the rope. Now, me with the rope and the backpack, I think would be fine, but I got to get Leo across first. So I think we're going to look for an easier way to get him across, and then I'll come back and I'll utilize the rope. So I got Leo across, but I had to use the rope. Trying it over there didn't work. I couldn't stand. So I needed the rope to lean on. So I went ahead and put his backpack on him, and then use the rope to pull myself across while holding him over my shoulder so I could hold the rope with one hand. So, and then I had to come back across because now I got to get all my gear and do this one more time and hopefully make it across safely without getting wet. All right, well, wetter than I'm gonna get because you're gonna get wet. It's just a matter of not falling and getting everything wet. All right, here we go. All right, guys, I successfully made it across. Everything is dry. I didn't lose my footing once. Fantastic crossing. Very difficult, but all right, it's time to get to camp. Whew. Guys, not gonna lie, that was the hardest one yet. I had to get across that thing, you know, once, go back twice, and 3 times. So 3 times crossing that thing was a leg workout for sure. So definitely not recommended having to do that thing 3 times. My legs are exhausted from trying to be stable the entire time. Now we're 0.7 from the shelter, and there's still one more crossing right before the shelter. So hopefully it's not as difficult or as bad, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, guys. Eventually. It's like 8 o'clock now. All this stuff is, you know, taking time. Take off the pack, figure out the best strategy. You know, you don't want to rush these things. You don't want to make rush decisions. So, and in that one, like, you know, I tried to take Leo across without the rope, and was like quickly realized not a good idea. Need to scrap that plan and go back and have a little bit more stability. So that river's moving fast. We're still right next to it. All right, we're gonna get to the shelter. Alright guys, we made it here to the shelter. It's late. I gotta get Leo fed and get myself fed, and there's people trying to go to bed, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.